Hi everybody, it's Dan the DM, and welcome to the first Ask Dan the DM. This is a new series I'm going to be doing. It's going to be an ongoing series, basically where I answer questions that are, a lot of times people just ask me randomly. In this case, I've actually asked my players to give me some questions. If you have any questions you'd like to ask me, just drop them down there. I am a true believer of rule of cool. My goal as a DM is to make sure that my players are having a fun time. So, that said, at the end of the day, as long as my players had a good time, and I had a good time, because it's not a question, but I can tell you, DMs are players too. As long as we all had a good time, that's all that matters. It's a game. So, that being said, I'm going to kind of just jump right into it. One of my players' questions was, what was your most challenging moment as a DM? So probably mentally one of my most challenging moments would have to be, and you can actually see it on this channel. I'll actually put the link right up there. So basically the setup for this question is, players have a mentor. This mentor has been basically integral to all their backstories and has been helping them develop into the people, the classes that they are today. This mentor has only been communicating with them through messaging. He'll leave them little messages. He will ask them to help. One thing he asked is, please keep me updated. He was trying to gather information. Well, the players, as players will do, didn't really stay on that course. And since things happen throughout the campaign, time moves on, players need to learn there are things happening outside of just their small piece of the world. Turned out that some catastrophic things had happened to their mentor when they went looking for him. Because of something our players had done, the Nemesis was able to find their mentor. And turns out he came to a rather abrupt end. So the challenge is going to be a zombie beholder. Were the players ready for a zombie beholder? Probably. I think they were all level 5 or 6. And there were 6 or 7 of them, depending on the day. So they go into that encounter, and the challenging part was I was prepared, had my set piece. Management's Lair, if you're looking for the video on it, had everything ready to go, and this is something as a DM you have to be ready for. And I know we all say it, make all your plans, then tear them up, throw them away, because your players are going to do something different. Well, the players go into the encounter, and I had completely forgotten months ago that the players had actually encountered the Deck of Many Things. Now this was a edited Deck of Many Things because I didn't want it to be totally game-changing, but I also wanted to leave a couple of the cool cards in it. Well, it turns out that one of the players had pulled the Fate card. Yeah, any DMs out there who have encountered the Fate card knows what that means. So the Bugbear Fighter pulls out this card, and he decides he wants to change that one point in history that led to their mentor dying. This is really challenging, but really fun for me as a DM. I'm very open with my story, and what I mean by that is I tell my players constantly that it's an open world. You can do whatever you want. I think most DMs will know that we really would like them to stay on our story, but you know what? Things happen, so we always have to be ready to ad lib. That being said, I had things prepared for them to deal with their mentor being dead. If they had fought the mentor, fought the beholder, there were things they could find out. And then the Fate card came out. I did challenge them a little bit in basically telling them, this is totally awesome, this is cool, let's do this. Tell me exactly what you want to change, because my mind was already going through the possibilities of, okay, so whatever they change, what are going to be the downhill effects of that? So at the end of the day, they actually thought through it really well. Maybe through some prompting of me, but again, you know what? This is all about having fun. So we kind of talked through it on their own. They came up with the exact point in time that led to their nemesis being able to find their mentor. And by reversing that one point, it made logical sense to me in a space-time, time-shifting continuum type, mind-melting type thing. It made sense. So even then after that, additional challenge was me as a DM being able to pivot and move to using the pieces that I had prepared for them in a different way that allowed them to progress in the game. One of the really cool things that happened with that, and if my players are listening, you're going to get a little insight into this, is that, I totally didn't see that coming. What I had prepared for the next step in that was prepared for you if you had actually found the rest of his lair. You doing that just gave you access to a whole lot more information that you may not have been able to understand, and he was able to explain to you. So anyway, a lot of that was kind of an ad lib, but I think as a DM, I always have an outline of what I want to happen in the world. And when you have an outline and you know your world, you know what can happen and what things can shift and move around. So challenge. What's the one thing that's challenged me as a DM? Is probably just like all DMs. When your players do something that you're not expecting, but as a good DM, I think most of us have fun with that. We embrace that, and by that's the game for us, right? That's what keeps us. We create these worlds. We create all these multiple pieces, and a lot of times, what the players do help us grow that world. So, anything time we can take a challenge and make it into a fun aspect of the game for us, that's the best part of the game for me personally. That's when I'm playing as a DM. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed this first episode of Ask Dan the DM. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments. If you'll like this, share it. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to the channel. That helps me grow. Thanks for your support. Thanks for watching the video, and we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.